Okay. All right, let's get going. Kiva Moed, Kiva Moed, Kiva Moed, Kiva Moed. Please join us. Kiva Moed, Kiva Moed, Kiva Moed, Kiva Moed. Yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai 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 lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Kiva Moed, Kiva Moed, Kiva Moed, Kiva Moed. Yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Kiva Moed, 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 Kiva Moed. Shabbat Shalom. And thank you for joining us for our service this evening. Whether you're joining us here in the room or online via our live stream, we are glad that you have chosen to celebrate Shabbat with us. We just sang Kiva Moed, for the appointed time has come, taken from Psalm 102, where we celebrate the fact that Shabbat, our time of rest, regeneration, and our time of community, has come. Please join me as we turn to page 120 for the lighting of our Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you. And please turn to page 138 as we continue our Kabbalat Shabbat service, our service for welcoming the Shabbat with the singing of Lecha Dodi. And as is our minhag, our custom here at Congregation Sinai, we're going to do verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And when we reach the final of those verses, verse 9, at that point, I will ask you to please rise and join us in facing the door through which we came in for our service this evening. Page 138 for Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor כמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. אחד עוד היא לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Verse 5, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Please rise. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה וצהלה. תוך אמוני ים סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. And please join me as we turn to page 144 for our Chatzi Kaddish, for our half Kaddish, as we mark the transition from our Kabbalat Shabbat service, our service for the welcoming of Shabbat, to our Ma'ariv service, our service for the evening. Page 144. יתגדל ויקדש שמי רבה, ועלמא דברי חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילא מכל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמא וימרו, אמן. Page 146 for the Baruch Hu. And please remain standing as we continue with a contemporary poetic setting of our blessing for the coming of the evening, our Ma'ariv Aravim. And please join me for Roll into the Dark, the traditional text for which you'll find on page 148. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light, night becomes day, day turns to night. And we'll continue on page 150 with Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael. Page 152 for the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Please be seated and join me on page 154 as we continue with our Ve'ahavta together. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarata b'ham b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem emet. And we'll continue on page 158 with our Mi Chamocha, the text, of course, taken from Parashat B'Shalach, which we'll be reading in just a couple of weeks as part of our Torah cycle. Page 158 for the Mi Chamocha. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Rabbi Cohen. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, nora tehilot osef ele. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai. And we'll continue on page 161 in the middle, reading together for the Hashkivenu in English. Page 161 in the middle of the page. Please join me. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your youth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. And we'll continue with the V'shamaru on page 162. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, בני ישראל, אותי ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. And we now come to the heart of our service, to our Amidah, which begins on page 164. And I would ask you to please rise and join me in facing the ark. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Please be seated. And join me as we continue reading together at the top of page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. And at the top of page 175. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod. And at the top of page 177. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lecha na'eh lehodot. And we'll continue on page 178 with our Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol Shalom, ki ata hu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam. Shalom rav. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel and all people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai hamvarech et amo Yisrael v'shalom. And we'll continue our prayers silently before we come back together in just a few moments on page 180 for our prayer for peace, for our Oseh Shalom. Adonai tzuri v'goali v'nomar Oseh Shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael recognize that Shabbat is a time of joy, a time of celebration. We know that when we come together to pray, there are those among us who are in need of healing. In just a few moments, we're going to sing our Misha Berach together, which you'll find in the prayer books on page 371. And this week, our community prays for all the hostages and all the wounded in the current situation in the Middle East, and for Amy Teuber, Ann Platt, Bill Ross, Bob Radke, Bracha Bat Miriam, David Goldenholtz, Deirdre Tischberg, Donald Metzke, Dorothy Price, Emily Baer, Fiona Powell, Gary Siegel, Genevieve Vermeulen, Herbert Selden, Jennifer Gates, Jennifer Houston, Jim McDermott, Karen McDermott, Kathy Menchero, Katie Pels Davis, Kevin Boland, the Konopka and Vermeulen family, Corey Konopka, Lawrence Evans, Lee Maxon, Leonore Friedman, Lucy Adams, Mark Eisman, Marcia Kipulo, Marianne Gehrig, Marianne Resnick, Martha Ross, Michael Stillman, Michelle Delao, Michelle Jacoby, Mosi Ramirez, Pat Kester, Rivka Feigibat Phyllis, Rory Langlois, Rosie Resnick, Rosalind Flegel, Sally Ross, Charles Eisman, and Nechama Bat Benjamin Basara. And if there is anybody else you're thinking of today, I would invite you to hold their names in your hearts as we sing our Misha Berach together on page 371. Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishe berach imoteinu mekor habracha. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Well, at the opening of this week's Torah portion, Va'era, Moses delivers a message of hope, a message of great hope and promise to the Israelite slaves. Moses says, God hears us. God has taken notice of our suffering, the cruel bondage we are in, and God is going to liberate us and lead us back to our native land. However, this is the second time that the people have heard this from Moses. The first time they responded with hope, and the people believed that God had taken note of their plight, and they bowed low in gratitude. But Pharaoh set about to quash those hopes, mightily increasing their labors and wearing the slaves down day by day. Now, when Moses tries to arouse their enthusiasm once more, the Torah tells us, V'lo sham'u el Moshe mikotza ruach u'me'avodah kasha. This verse is typically translated as, but the people could not hear Moses, for their spirits had been crushed by cruel bondage. And we can understand this. The slave spirits were really in the pits. Pharaoh had succeeded, for now, in quelling any uprising against him. But let's for a moment take a closer look at some of the words in that sentence, specifically the phrase kotze ruach. Kotze means to shorten or to cut off. Ruach can mean spirit or wind, and it could also mean breath. So kotze ruach can mean cut off breath. Interestingly, all the words in Hebrew that have to do with one's soul are also connected to breathing. Neshama, a neshama as a soul, comes from the verb linshom, meaning to breathe. Ruach means a spirit, but it also means wind. And I could go on, but I won't. There's more examples just like that. And it sort of makes sense because we understand, even in English, that there is a linguistic connection between spirit and breath. When we breathe in, we inspire. We receive inspiration. The more fully we can breathe, the more inspiration we can receive. If our breath is short, if it is shallow, if it is constricted, whether from exhaustion or anxiety or fear, we easily become dispirited, disconnected from spirit, unable to expand our lungs towards fullness, and unable to extend our spirits toward hope or possibility. I am, even as I say these words, trying to remember to breathe deeply and fully. And it's not always easy. For we know that breathing deeply and fully will not solve the challenges we face. We know, however, that breathing deeply and fully can calm us, invigorate us, can bring us into the present, and enable us to think and act more clearly and purposefully. So I invite you at this moment to breathe, to sigh, to allow your lungs to empty and to refill with fresh oxygen. Don't hold your breath. Keep on breathing. In Hebrew and in English, and I imagine many other languages, states of being are described with metaphors associated with our bodies, which are our central points of reference for our experience. Think of terms like open-hearted, hot-headed, heavy-handed. As such, the Hebrew term for patience is erech apayim, which literally means long-nostrilled. Not something that comes up in everyday speech. That is, patience is the practice of taking long breaths, which is so true. Long nostril breaths, erech apayim, are actually the antidote to kotze ruach, the shortness of breath that comes from fear, from impatience, from exhaustion. Erech apayim is such a prized quality in our Jewish tradition that it is identified as one of the key attributes of God, which we are meant to emulate. So go ahead, breathe some more. As we breathe deeply and fully, may we calm ourselves enough to hear the chirping of birds nearby, to hear the voices of our loved ones, and to hear Moses' message of hope. We know that struggles lie ahead, but it is within our power to not have our spirits crushed by circumstance. It is within our power to calm ourselves so that we might be present, patient, steadfast, strong, even joyful. Remember to breathe. We are going to keep on breathing, obviously. Have you ever had that moment where you realize you've just stopped breathing because you're tense? And it's usually our bodies are pretty good about kicking in. Our autonomic nervous system says, hey, you need some air. But we have the possibility consciously to break through that. We're going to conclude in a moment. Cantor will tell us where and how.
In just a few moments, we are going to begin to bring our service to a close. First, with the singing of the Aleinu, which you'll find on page 586, after which we will spend a little bit of time and recite our Mourner's Kaddish before we move on to our Kiddush, and then we will end our service with a return to the song with which we began, Ki V'Moed. But for now, I would ask you to please rise and join me in the middle of page 586 for the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shapeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככהונה. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים מודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה In just a moment, we'll recite our Kaddish Yatom, our Mourner's Kaddish together, which you'll find on page 598. And this week, our community remembers Dorothy Schmidt, who was laid to rest within the past 30 days, and the following who've died within the past year: Larry Rector, Rhoda Silver, Robert B. Israel, James Yanni, Leo Weinshell, Myrna Grossman, Herb Bratt, Bill Nikud, Dick Kahn, Stanley Jolton, Robin Glickstein, Robert Evan Lieb, Dr. Alison Ruth Cravat, Marcia Fenson, Nancy Osterman, David Hested, Gary Sobel, Eugene Alberts, Hank Borkowitz, Jonathan Frank, and Stan Aronoff. And we also mark the Yahrzeit, the anniversary of death, of Alice Goldman, Pamela Green, Dorothy Heilbronner, Walter George Hoare, Edwin Kliegman, Michelle Lotz, Lee Michelov, Bernard Moller, Gerald Muchin, William Orenstein, Judy Pesso, Lucille Chauvers, David Siegel, Adam John Sobel, Donald Teitelman, Marcus Teitelman, Bud Temkin,
Bud Armin Weisbrun, Sybil Weinstein, Merle Werner, Nanette Winter, and Rabbi Sylvan Wolf. And if there is anybody else you're remembering today, or anybody whose name I unintentionally mispronounced, I would ask you to please share those names with us now.
Ruth Johnson.
And please join me for the Kaddish Yatom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach chiluteh v'yamlich malchuteh B'chayechon v'yomechon V'chayeh d'chol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imeru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach Le'alam u'lalmei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yithalal, shemei d'kudashah b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, V'imru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all people, to which we say, amen. Please be seated, and I would ask Scott to please come up and share some announcements with us. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, and I'm so pleased that so many of you came out and braved the cold this evening. Thank you. Tonight's Onig is sponsored by Randy Zittelman in honor of her birthday, which is today. Happy birthday, Randy. We are grateful for the contributions made this week to our Sinai community in memory of Dorothy Schmidt, Adam John Sobel, Nancy Frank, David Siegel, Bernard Mahler, Rabbi Sylvan Wolf, Gerald Muchin, Edwin Kliegman, Kenneth Burke, Elaine Holman, Helen Padway, and Merle G. Werner. Join us for the following upcoming programs. Go all in at Sinai Brotherhood's third annual Sinai in Spades Hold'em Poker Tourney tomorrow here at Sinai. The instructional session is at 6:30. The play starts at 7, ending when we have a final table champion, and you can register on Shul Cloud or talk to any of the Brotherhood members who are leading this fabulous event who are here this evening. Achinu, a men's spirituality group gathering Sunday, February 2nd, 8:30 a.m. at Sinai. Contact Mitch Colton for more information. Enjoy a cup of coffee with the clergy and sages on Friday, February 7th, 11 a.m. at St. John's on the Lake. See E-News for location information. Sample an array of Mideastern food on a communal Shabbat dinner on Friday, February 7th, service at 6 p.m. and dinner at 7:15 p.m. here at Sinai. Please register via E-News. 5 easy pieces, a brief survey of the most important eras in Jewish history, a talk with Rabbi David Cohen, Sunday, February 9th, and March 2nd, 10 a.m. at Sinai. Register via Shul Cloud. The previous session was really quite excellent. Thank you, Rabbi. It's time to brew for Purim and Sinai Flight Night. Join Sinai Brewing Sunday, February 9th at 9 a.m. here at Sinai. Email Gordy and Alan for more information. For more information on programming, please refer to Tuesday and Friday Sinai E-News for registration information, live stream, and Zoom links.
Thank you.
And on February the 7th, when we have, pardon me, the congregational dinner, marking the reading of Parashat B'Shalach, where we read the Song of the Sea, the celebratory song that we find in the Torah as the Israelites safely cross the Red Sea and the Egyptians don't. It's become a tradition in the Reform movement to do something musical with that Shabbat. I think there's a couple of reasons why. First of all, it's an interesting thing to do. And also, the Song of the Sea can be particularly challenging, I think, for us in the progressive movements. But as we celebrate that Shabbat on February the 7th, we are also going to welcome the Milwaukee Jewish Community Chorale, who are going to join us to add another dimension of music to our service. Anyway, for now, as we bring our service to a close, we're going to first sing our Kiddush, which you'll find on page 123, after which we will finish with a closing song. Please rise and join me for our Kiddush, page 123. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila l'mikrei kodesh, zecher l'yitziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uv'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha'shabbat l'chaim. And please join me for the Hamotzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. Cool, and thank you for joining us today. Please do remain standing as we finish with, first of all, Salam, a song for peace, before we will segue from that into our Kiva Moed from Psalm 102, with which we opened our service this evening. And as we do bring our service to an end, I would add my big thanks to Sarah and to Julie for joining me here up on the bima, and also for Rachel on the flute, Larry on the percussion, Karen Horowitz on the piano, Rabbi Cohen on the guitar and the keyboard, Guy Fiorentini on the bass, and Dina Aronson on the percussion, for helping to elevate our service and our worship this evening. Please join us for Salam and Kiva Moed. Od yavo shalom aleinu, Od yavo shalom aleinu, Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, Od yavo shalom aleinu, Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam aleinu ve'al Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us for our service today, and we will see you in the foyer.
Shabbat Shalom.